Hello everybody and welcome back to JOECMDRAWZ. Okay, so I'm back. Um, I've had this idea for a while for a video and I've just been like creating it. And it is to turn Pokemon into Dark Souls slash like legendary or unique weapons. Stuff that you see like obviously in Dark Souls or Monster Hunter, where you can turn the actual creatures into the weapons and you can use them weapons to fight against other people or enemies. Um, so at first I just wanted to make it about like legendaries because obviously that's the coolest part about Pokemon, I would argue. But I had a little bit more thinking. I thought, well, there's already some really cool Pokemon like out there as is, so that would make really cool weapons. So I'll just pretty much just get right into it. Um, so to start off with, I took the legendary third generation legendary Pokemon Kyogre from obviously Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, that trio, and turned it into this catalyst here, this staff called the Sea Basin Catalyst, which I think looks really, really cool. It's got this nice shape going into it. It ties in back into Kyogre's colours, the red and blue. Um, the shape is a representation of like Kyogre's like fins and its eye here. Um, and obviously I've got the blue orb here, which actually powers the staff itself, or the catalyst, however you want to say it, which I think is really, really cool. Um, so basically, the Sea Basin Catalyst is this obviously this wand that is crafted from Kyogre's own scales. So the scales were obviously like ripped off or stripped after it was killed or something. This is in a world in which like they're like weird creatures. Um, you don't capture them; they're like beasts to be killed. And basically, this powerful staff was created from Kyogre's like scales and fused with the blue orb that can obviously summon or control the Pokemon actually in the lore. Um, its caster can summon great rapids or thunderstorms and torrents of water to wash away their enemies. They can basically shoot blasts of water that can pierce steel and shatter rocks. And I think that's just friggin' cool. Just thinking about someone like in these robes and they just bring out this huge like catalyst and they slam it down and they summon these like huge rapids of torrents of water that just shoot out everywhere, powerful enough to like strip away flesh and skin, um, which I think is just cool. They can also activate a spell that is kind of really broken, really, but it basically creates a never-ending rain. Um, so they would like cast never-ending rain. So over a certain area, so it'd be an AOE spell, it would cast rain that will be never-ending, and that could be any type of rain they choose. It could be acid rain, regular rain. It could have other attributes to it, so like freezing rain. So any of the parts where the droplets touch would freeze that part of the ground or anything that it touched, um, which would be sick. Um, that's pretty cool. And the only way to really break the spell is to either destroy the catalyst itself, which will be extremely difficult, or kill the wielder. Just knocking them unconscious will not stop the spell. It will not stop the actual production of water or the rain or whatever you want it to be. Just kind of like in all of Pokemon, how Kyogre can summon rain. Um, you would have access to that ability, and you would have access to other kind of like water type abilities that Kyogre can, or moves that Kyogre can actually learn. So like use something great like Surf to summon great waves, or shoot like an ice beam or something from it. There's a lot of like stuff on a lot of applications you can use this catalyst for, but that's just the kind of like lore and kind of quick concept sketch for the Sea Basin Catalyst, um, which I think is really, really cool. It's probably the coolest one of this bunch, actually. Um, but moving on, the next one is the Grisius Great Axe, which is this one here. Um, the Grisius Great Axe was crafted from the head or faceplate of Giratina, so that was like stripped off and made into a Great Axe. The Great Axe is imbued with the power of Giratina's Grisius Orb that you can obtain actually like in game. The user can obviously stab, slash, and cleave their enemies like a regular axe would, but they can also use the axe's power combined with the Grisius Orb to open a portal to the Distortion World and basically trap their enemies or foes inside the Distortion World, which is really, really cool. So you can open up a portal to the distortion world, kick somebody halfway in and close it up and cleave them in half, or you can just kick them in there and trap them, and they'll obviously die of starvation or dehydration in the distortion world, or they might end up just offing themselves because of the confusion in the distortion world, how everything is flipped. The axe also grants you the ability to warp dimensions at will, so you can warp any kind of dimension you want. Whether you want to warp like forwards and backwards, so now they're swapped, or up is down and down is up, or you can warp any kind of dimension you want, which would be really really cool. And I like this concept sketch here. You got this bottom part here, which is a representation of Giratina's foot, uh, and you got the axe head here, obviously of its faceplate, like I said, and then this spike here, representation of spikes on Giratina's like dark black wings. So I think that one's really really cool. Yep, so that's the Grisius Great Axe. Next up is one that isn't a legendary, but one I just wanted to do, which is the Nido Blade, which is a broadsword here. That's that one, the Nido Blade. It's a broadsword that's basically imbued with the power of poison itself. It's crafted from the broken horn of a Nido King, repurposed into a deadly poisonous blade, even sometimes being detrimental to its wielder itself. As anything touched by the spines on the Nido Blade will poison anything, make it poisonous. So enemies, weapons, armor, clothes, even the environment itself can be imbued with the like poisonous traits. So it's a deadly, deadly, deadly weapon for sure. The only way you can really counteract the poisonous effects of the Needle Blade is another Needle Blade. So you better hope you have one, otherwise you're basically screwed. Because anything it touches, or anything like that touches these spines, will become poisoned or given the poisonous attribute. So even like the ground itself can become poisonous to touch, which is kind of really insane. Um, you can't really use a shield to block it because the shield will become poisonous. So the only really way to fight it, like I said, is with another Needle Blade. So you better hope you have one if you face an opponent with this weapon. And then it really becomes a battle of who can hit who first with their blade. And then that becomes really exciting. So I think that's a really cool weapon to wield. Um, and I like it's kind of this concept sketch. You got these claws representation of Nido King's claws, and here it's horn. And obviously you just got like this leather wrap here that will, you can hold, so you're not actually just gonna cut yourself on the blade. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That would be like a really cool weapon to wield, kind of catch people off guard using your creativity to kind of like strike the ground where they are and completely poison it. But you have to be careful of yourself. It's kind of like a really, really dangerous weapon, but if you're able to use it effectively, you're basically going to be invincible. Um, Unless it's something that cannot be corroded or poisoned. But if it's already poisonous, which is a no-brainer. Next up is the one I like to call the Time Spear, which is this one, which is crafted from Dialga. Um, it's made from its chest plate that Dialga has on its design, obviously encrusted with its diamond there. It's a brilliant blue and silver spear crafted from the chest guard and jewel of Dialga. It's a long and heavy spear that is said to be able to punch holes in time itself. The wielder can control what happens in these like little pockets of time that they can poke using the spear. They can strike and twist and poke holes in time itself, and then you get to basically have free range and control over these pockets of time. You can determine anything you want that happens in them. Again, obviously it's a legendary weapon, so it's kind of broken but kind of cool. Um, Basically, you can also, if you can figure out, you can also access Dialga's Roar of Time ability, which will basically allow you to reduce anything that it touches basically back in time or forward in time, depending on what you want. So you can basically, it takes a lot of energy out the spear, so you can't really just use it a lot of the time, but you can activate it and shoot anyone, and you can either choose to reduce them back to basically nothing, or you can make age them so far that they basically will not be a threat to you anymore, or even further, turn them into dust, which I think is really cool. Um, it is quite a heavy duty spear because of all the weight being at the top, but if you're So it's more like a two-handed spear. So if you're able to use it and wield it, I think that's really cool. I like that one. That one's really cool. And finally, the last weapon I designed here is the sand slashes. These claws here, these ones are crafted from the hollowed out claws of a sand slash, and basically they have a hollowed out bit at the bottom where you can like stick your hand in and grab like a hook or like a bar that's in there, and you can use that to slash and claw and stab at enemies, getting slash damage, um, which is really cool. As well as tearing damage to enemies, as well as giving the wearer the ability to cast sandstorms, a move that Sandslash can learn, um, and also easier access for digging. So you can like dig to get away from enemies, or you can dig to strike at them from underneath to surprise them, which is really cool. If you're particularly adept at using magic, you can amplify the Sandstorm ability. They're like this AoE spell, which will cast upon whip a giant sandstorm. And if you're particularly strong at magic, like I said, you can pull up boulders or rocks or cars or bricks or whatever. You can really change the environment to your liking within a matter of minutes. So basically, it becomes like instead of like maybe a luscious forest into a complete barren desert, which I think is really, really cool. But that's all I've really got for now. I really liked all of these. I think these are really cool. Wielding any one of them, I think would make you quite powerful. But my favorite ones is the Sea Basin Catalyst, and I like the Needle Blade as well, just because of that versatility. You can poison anything that isn't already poisonous. But yeah, let me know what you think. I had a lot of fun doing these, so I might do some more. Let me know if you like me reading and explaining the lore about these weapons. Kind of like I might restructure them to make them read a little bit more like a Dark Souls item description, which I think is really cool, which is what I was trying to go for. But let me know. Which one would you want to wield? The Sea Basin Catalyst, the Needle Blade, the Grisius Great Axe, the Time Spear, or the Sand Slashes. Um, yep, that's all I've already got for now. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, and yep, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my work around. I'll see you next time.